buyers, good evening and a warm welcome to what is sure to be another special Harcourts Rata & Co Auctioneer number 63, Pindari Avenue in Mill Park. My name is Robert Ozzimo and I proudly represent the company of Harcourts Rata & Co, joined here tonight by some of my award-winning team in blue, the best team in the north. Should you require their advice, please feel free to approach either Jim Vlahos, Andrew DeSanto, Joel Villavatini and of course Mr. Tsalkos, who no doubt you've had the great pleasure of becoming acquainted with throughout the marketing campaign. Buyers, let me share with you now the following announcements which are in place to help you bid and buy with absolute confidence here tonight. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that remain available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price as the auctioneer will indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding and provides for fines for such conduct. The rules permit for vendor bids. The words I'll use during the auction to indicate that I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, can make a vendor bid. The contract of sale has been on display prior to tonight's auction. We call for 10% deposit upon the fall of the hammer and the signing of that contract to take place here this evening and the balance to be paid at settlement in 30 to 60 days time, at which time the vendor will provide the lucky buyer with vacant possession of the property. All in all, quite a straightforward contract. Everything is in here, everything is quite clear. Buyers, is with my highest recommendation what we offer for your consideration and competition here tonight. The ultimate Christmas present for you and your family, and time is running short to buy on this side of the year. So what a great opportunity we have before us for the investor, for the first home buyer. Hell, we're not taking bids yet, buddy. And for you and your family to get into what is a rapidly growing market. We've seen enormous capital growth in 2025 that's set to continue well into 2026, and what a great location to buy in with access to absolutely everything that you need. Easy access to transport, schooling, parkland, shopping, all at our fingertips here at 63 Pindari. So great opportunity tonight to get the sold sticker up on the board. If you'd like to reserve that right, buyers, now is your time to do just that. Where can I see a fair and reasonable starting bid for 63 Pindari Avenue? Now you can go, son. Now you can have a bid. Who'd like to start us off? I don't mind the call. I'm in your hands, buyers. Start me where you like. I've had my say. Time for you to have yours. No, you're not here just to see me. You're here for the house. I'd be honoured if that was the case. 650. At 650,000, the first start. We'll go with you at 650, sir. Welcome and best of luck. At 650,000, fairly been offered now. 650 the bid. At 650 the bid. At 650,000, fairly been offered now. Any better bid? Any better offer than 650? At 650,000 now. At $650,000 the bid for the first call. At 650, are we all done? At 650,000, second call. At 650,000, done. Finished for the third and final call at $650,000 the bid. Are we done? Finished? Silent? I was hoping for 25 in the rise. Ange, can I get 675 in the rise? You want to come in with strength, sir, at 650,000. Can I say 75, sir? At 60 now, 660, same courtesy, sir, if you like. At 70 now, the quick retort. At 670,000. At 670,000. Your 10 still good with me, sir? If you've got it, 670, got to be 80 now. At 670,000, fairly been offered. At 670 the bid. At 670,000. At 670 now, fairly been offered. At 670 for the first call. At 670,000, all done. At 670,000, twice at 670, done, finished, third. Final call at $670,000 a bid, all done, all finished. Silent out at 670,000, bargain basement buying at that at 670 the bid. At 600, if you bid twice, so I'll take the 5 bids, got to be 10 in the aggregate, got to be 80. At 670,000, the bids here, make it 80, get back on top. At 670,000, at 670,000, now fairly been offered at 670 the bid, of end-all bid now at 80 and get us moving here tonight. At 680,000, 90 if you like, sir. At 680,000, bids against you at 680 the bid. At 680,000 at 90 now, and welcome back at 90. At 690,000. At 690,000, opportunity to round me off at 7 now if you like, sir. At 690 the bid. At 690,000, fairly been offered now. 690 the bid for the first call at 690. Are we done? At 690,000, second call at 690 the bid. Third, final call, $690,000 the bid. Are we all done? All finished? All silent, out at 690,000. Instructions at 690,000. You still with me, sir? At 690 the bid. Seeking instructions on the phone. If you're here to buy, this is your moment, your time, an opportunity at 690,000. Should be a sea of hands at that level at 690 now. At 690,000. At 690 the bid. We'll move along again with a vendor bid at 700 now. At 700,000, my bid against yours, sir. At 700 the bid. At 700,000, 10 if you like. At 700,000, it's against you at 7. At $700,000 now. At 700,000 now. Look, give another 10 on top at 700, even money. At 700 the bid. For the first call at 700,000. Second call, 700 the bid. Third, final call. You've been fair to me tonight, so I'll entertain the 5 at 705 now, and the same courtesy to any other potential buyer here tonight at 705 the bid, and it's got to be 10 now in the rise at 705,000. Only cost you 5 on top now, sir. If you want to get back involved, get back on top at 705,000. Fairly been offered now, looking for 10 at 705 the bid. At 705,000 now, got to be 710 in the rise at 705. At 705,000, fairly been offered now. On my left here at 705. At 705,000 for the first call at 705. Are we all done? Second call at 705. Done and finished. Third, final call, 705,000. All done, all finished. Silent, out at 705,000. Sir, what do you say? Are you back in with 5? Get back on top at 710 if you like. At 705 now the bid. At 705 against your bid at 705 now. At 705,000, got to be 10. At 705,000, doing all the hard work here tonight myself with another vendor bid at 10 now. We'll move along at 710. At 710,000, sir, my bid against yours at 10 now. Make it 15 if you like at 710,000. At 710,000 at 15 now, and I would think so. I was going to say, I'm sure you'd agree with me, that's great value. At 715 now. At 715,000 now and 20 the call. At 715,000. At 715,000, fairly been offered now. 715 the bid, got to be 20. At 715 once. At 715,000, all done. At 715,000 twice at 715. At 715 the bid for the third and final call at $715,000 a bid. Looks like it's you and I tonight, sir. Another vendor bid at 20 to move along. At 20 now, make it 25. At 720,000. At 720 the bid. At 720,000, if you come to buy, you have to finish on top at 720 now the bid. At 720,000, looking for 25. At 720 the bid. At 720,000, once at 720, all done. At 720,000, second call at 720 the bid. Third, final call at 720,000. Can I say another 5, sir? At 720,000, third and final call, all done. All finished, all silent, out at 720,000. Work your magic there, Joel, at 720,000 at 720 the bid, and looking for 5 on top. Only cost you 5 to get involved here tonight at $720,000 now at 720 the bid. 5 the call at 720 once, twice, third, final call at 20. All done, finished, silent out at 720,000. Well, can I try one? I'll tell you what, so I'll need to seek some instructions. I will be back momentarily, and I'll consider that one and get some instructions for you. Thank you. Well, boys, thanks for your patience. As you can appreciate, never an easy decision when you're selling property. We are a little bit closer. We've had a reduction in the reserve price in a bid to meet the market here tonight. We're not quite there just yet. However, if there's no further bidding, we'll negotiate at the vendor's reserve price with any interested party here today. If you would like to exclude every other buyer from that process and have the opportunity to negotiate with the vendor on an exclusive basis, you've got that opportunity now, but you must be the highest bidder. So at $720,000, my bid dealing with everybody at $720,000. If you'd like to put yourself in the box seat, have the only opportunity to lock all the other buyers out and negotiate on an exclusive basis, you've got that chance now. I'll put it back to you buyers for 3 further calls. 21. I will put you in the box seat, sir, for 21 now at 721. At 721,000, if there's no further bidding, we will only deal with this gentleman here. He'll be the highest bidder. He'll have the first exclusive and the only right to purchase the property from the vendor at their reserve price. So if you have indeed come with interest, we cannot entertain that interest. We cannot entertain any offers after the auction. We can only entertain those of the highest bidder. The rights are here at $721,000 the bid. For the first call at 721, are we all done? Second call at 721,000, done and finished. Third, final call at $721,000 the bid, all done, all finished, silent out at 721. Well, buyers, my instructions here tonight are clear. We're to deal only with the highest bidder at the vendor's reserve price. We'll be here for another, for another 5 to 10 minutes should you have any questions for myself or one of my colleagues. Otherwise, have a great night and a great Christmas. We'll see you again soon. Thank you. How are we, mate? I'm Rob.